Major funding for NJTV News is provided in part by the members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child, and PSE&G. We make things work for communities.
Tonight on NJTV News, who's profiting from immigration policy?
Should counties make millions of dollars for housing immigrant detainees? It's a volatile issue, and people are protesting.
Going from behind bars to standing on the unemployment line. What kind of job opportunities are there for the formerly incarcerated?
Plus, Rutgers Athletics spent a bundle to go Big Ten. Did the Scarlet Knights score any bang for the buck? Those stories and more next on NJTV News.
Live from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio at 2 Gateway Center in Newark, this is NJTV News with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us. Debate is raging over where immigrants detained by ICE are held pending hearings or deportation, and which private contractors are profiting from housing them, and what elected officials are doing about it. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan reports.
You go there and you meet people who are spouses of Americans, who are parents of Americans, who have never had any criminal problems whatsoever.
Senator Cory Booker described speaking to detainees during his tour today at the private contract Elizabeth Detention Center. It houses 300 immigrant detainees, many sent from the southern border since the Trump administration's crackdown. This center serves as the focal flashpoint for multiple political protests by elected officials.
The question is this the best use of taxpayer dollars? Very expensive. These aren't flight risks. They're not going to leave their American children. There's a lot of these policies that don't reflect our values, don't keep us safe, and cost Americans a lot of money in terms of the detention costs.
They are focusing, on the wrong spot.
Some advocates want Booker and his fellow Democrats to widen their focus away from Elizabeth.
And it's been the same facility they are touring over and over. And we want to ask Senator Booker, Senator Menendez, to go into the county jails in New Jersey that are housing the majority of immigrant detainees.
Protests have recently targeted Essex, Hudson, and Bergen County jails, which hold most of the immigrant detainees and together collect $6 million a month from ICE. Critics call it blood money. Yesterday, protesters in Jersey City angrily complained about the Hudson County freeholders' unscheduled vote on July 12th, when the board unexpectedly renewed a contract with ICE. It currently houses more than 600 detainees at its county jail in Kearney. Freeholder Chairman Anthony Veneri explained, if we don't do the contract, they'll go somewhere else. He spoke to detainees. Every single one said, I like it here. I like the treatment. The facility's clean. There's great medical staff. It's close to their families. But Serge Demofak says detainees fear retaliation.
The detainees are not stupid. They are very careful when it comes down to disclosing everything they see, because they may be facing retaliation as soon as the official is out of the jail.
Freeholder Joel Torres voted no on the contract renewal and would rather the county get out of the detainee holding business.
In the long term, I would like to see it closed out. My hope being that within the next 2 years, we have a different administration at the federal level that will not force us to be in this current situation that we're in now.
The county's ICE facility houses detainees in dormitories like this one, and the county will earn $10 more per person under the new ICE contract, $120 a day, $30 million a year. Torres says the county should rethink how it spends the money.
How can we use those funds to provide services, programs, and support for the detainees rather than it being seen as a profit-gaining measure or something to balance the budget?
The mayors of Jersey City and Hoboken both oppose the Hudson contract. As for Booker visiting county jails...
Am I going to go tomorrow? No.
Not tomorrow.
Am I going to go next week? No. Is this on my agenda of things to be investigating? Yes. Do my staff go and visit these facilities? Yes.
The politics surrounding ICE contracts are hot. This contract gives Hudson County 60 days to cancel, but that looks unlikely, especially under the Trump administration's immigration policies. In Hackensack, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
Those who've committed a crime and done their time often can't get work. A Prison Policy Initiative report shows the national unemployment rate for convicts is staggering. New Jersey has a law on the books designed to help. We asked Andrew Schmertz to find out if it's working.
The person has done their time. When does the punishment stop? When does you saying, okay, you got another chance, will actually give you a chance?
It is a question Ron Pierce has asked many times since his release from prison 2 years ago. After serving 30 years and 8 months for homicide, Pierce says he's ready to rejoin the working world, if only someone would hire him.
I tried to get work, and when everything went along, they did a background check. Oh, we don't want you. Oh, you're perfect for the job. You're perfect for the job. We did a background check. We can't use you.
A new report by the Prison Policy Initiative, a group that calls for prison reform, found that the national unemployment rate for felons out of prison is 27%. New Jersey Reentry Corporation, founded by former Governor Jim McGreevey, works to find former inmates jobs. Currently, about 36% of their clients in Paterson are unemployed.
There are a surmountable amount of obstacles that are in the way for formerly incarcerated individuals.
Among all the reasons for the high jobless numbers, lack of skills, education, and work history is simply that employers often don't get past the fact that an applicant has a criminal history. Employers typically discovered a criminal history by asking job seekers the question on an initial job application, something New Jersey has been trying to address.
New Jersey has had for some years now a ban-the-box law. That law prohibits most employers from asking about criminal convictions on the initial job application, but they are free to do so later in the process.
In the ban-the-box legislation, it pretty much states that employers are not supposed to ask our clients about their background either on applications or in the first round of interviews. Now, clients see it on applications all the time. And they're asked frequently.
Mark Giro has been in and out of prison for years on drug-related theft convictions.
You can feel that, the body language changes a little bit, but it really all depends on how you present yourself, because we're all, one thing on paper in black and white, but then, when you talk to somebody, you see who, you can kind of feel who they really are.
Most of the jobs are low-wage, entry-level positions, but those who have studied post-prison unemployment for years says there is a turnaround in the state.
I don't know that it's attributable to the ban-the-box legislation. I've seen it very recently because the unemployment rate is so low. I've been getting calls from human resource departments, employers, asking me for help and connecting them with our program people to get offenders for jobs. I mean, that's just amazing.
As for Ron Pierce, he's graduated from Rutgers University at the age of 60, and he hopes someone will give him that second chance he's been waiting 3 decades for. In Newark, Andrew Schmertz, NJTV News.
The sweeping recommendations to make the state more affordable top today's business news. Joining us with details is business correspondent Rhonda Schaffler. Rhonda.
Mary Alice, the business community continues to react to those recommendations put forward by the Economic and Fiscal Policy Working Group that was commissioned by Senate President Steve Sweeney. Those recommendations include scaling back on benefits for state workers and merging elementary and middle school districts to save costs. The New Jersey Business and Industry Association says it found the report encouraging. NJBIA President and CEO Michelle Sekerka says we need to see New Jersey's future through the lens of regional competitiveness and affordability. And many of these initial recommendations make a good first step in that direction. New Jersey companies have been given a warning. There's a new effort underway to crack down on firms that misclassify their employees as independent contractors. The state is joining forces with the federal Labor Department to share resources and coordinate investigations. Companies save money when their employees are independent contractors because those workers generally receive no benefits and the companies don't have to pay unemployment and disability taxes for them. But companies have to meet a strict standard when it comes to worker classifications. Governor Phil Murphy said today's enforcement agreement will help protect workers and put an end to unfair labor practices. Jersey City must return $2 million in upfront payments to a developer following a court decision. An appellate panel ruled that municipalities cannot require developers receiving tax breaks to prepay their payments in lieu of taxes. The dispute between the city and Multi-Employer Property Trust involved a property next to the Journal Square Path Station, which was never built on. Instead, the developers sued the property to Kushner Companies and KABR Group, which also sued Jersey City over a separate dispute on tax breaks for the latest proposed development on the site. It's known as One Journal Square, and now that project, too, is stalled. Now, here's an explanation as to why, while the economy is getting better, it just might not feel like you're getting ahead. The government today released its latest report on inflation, which showed wage growth is no longer keeping up with inflation. Inflation, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, rose 2.9% last month compared to a year ago. But over the same period, average hourly wage growth rose just 2.7%. That means paychecks aren't bringing home enough to cover higher costs. On Wall Street, stocks slid today on geopolitical worries. The Dow dropped close to 200 points. And those are your top business stories.
Recess is now the law. Governor Murphy signed a bill that requires schools to give kindergartners through fifth graders at least 20 minutes of recess every school day, preferably outdoors. While students who violate codes of conduct can be denied recess, they must be provided other activities. Former Governor Christie vetoed similar legislation back in 2016. Rutgers University's unveiled wearable wireless technology with biosensors that can monitor everything from what's inside your bloodstream to what's outside your body to what's in the air you breathe. Michael Hill got a preview.
We just call it a wearable impedance cytometer, but maybe we should come up with a more catchy name.
Electrical engineering professor Mehdi Javimard chuckles at the technical name, but the cytometer, a device that measures cell properties, might have some serious implications and applications, from routine screenings and blood drawing to emergency medicine.
So imagine somebody is in a car accident, they get rushed to the emergency room, and the medical professionals want to know if this person is undergoing internal bleeding or not. They can do a quick pinprick from their finger, do a complete blood cell count with this type of device, and make a quick assessment there as to what the next step would be.
Javimard says that process typically takes an hour or two for results. In cases of chronic diseases, a day or two. Professor Javimard says this cytometer has applications beyond medical. Consider the environmental ones as well.
You want to open up a door and you want to check the doorknob first to see how clean it is, whether there's E. coli bacteria or not. You go to a restaurant, you want to eat a salad, you want to know whether the lettuce has salmonella or E. coli on it. You do take a quick swab of your lettuce, you test it on your wristband, and you say, yes, okay, this is safe to eat.
Now, Professor, you know that would be awful for hypochondriacs.
Yes, that's true.
Javimard says for more than a decade, his lab has been working on building miniature devices to monitor what we have in our blood, saliva, and other bodily fluids. He says this small device can do what big, bulky machines do.
A microfluidic channel inside of it, essentially what that is like a really small pipe that's thinner than the diameter of a human hair.
With the advent of Fitbits and smartwatches, he says the lab saw an opportunity to create this cytometer on a circuit board with batteries, Bluetooth, and other technology.
What it does is it takes these really small signals of these cells passing by one, it processes that data, it converts it to digital data, and then it wirelessly transmits that to a smartphone. And then the smartphone processes the data and it essentially displays it for the user to know what their cell count is.
The professor says the university is working on a patent, while feedback has been encouraging from biotech colleagues after a study about this device was published in the scientific journal Nature about how this resembles popular smart devices, but with huge applications for telemedicine.
So we are also trying to piggyback on that computing power to essentially bypass the need for these large servers and computers.
The professor says the invention is quite a ways from being available on the market, From now to then, it will need clinical trials, FDA approval, and development so it perhaps looks less space age. In Piscataway, Michael Hill, NJTV News.
Brace for brake lights. That tops tonight's Garden State Express. Our first stop, Union City, where dreaded repairs of an 80-year-old bridge promise to put a dent in everyone's day. Work starts tonight on the bumpy Route 495 bridge between Kennedy Boulevard and the confluence of Route 3, the Turnpike, Patterson Plank Road, and Routes 1 and 9. Starting with the closure of the busy 31st Street ramp, followed next Friday by the closure of one lane in each direction, plus ramp closings and detours until summer 2021. The Port Authority says the exclusive bus lane to the Lincoln Tunnel in the morning rush won't be affected, but the westward home rush could be dicey. Officials suggest finding a park and ride and taking a bus, forming a carpool, or braving the Holland Tunnel or the George Washington Bridge for the next 3 years. Next to Atlantic City, where shy of a month before the Miss America pageant, 11 former Miss Americas are calling for the immediate resignation of one of their own. Board Chair, Miss America 1989, Gretchen Carlson, and CEO Regina Hopper took over after scandal sent the prior bosses packing. In a rebranding of the organization, they made controversial changes, including dropping the swimsuit competition. But the drama goes beyond bikinis. The 11 letter signers, 2 from New Jersey, point to turmoil that's led to the departures of board members and staff. This is the final year of a 3-year contract with both the Casino Redevelopment Authority that helped fund Miss America and with ABC to put it on the air. Finally, Voorhees State Park seeing stars. This weekend's Perseid meteor shower is primed to be one of the best performances in years due to the new moon's dark sky that astronomers say should allow stargazers to see as many as 60 to 70 meteors zipping across the heavens every hour. They're not actually stars, but star dust. Actually, tiny dust particles trailing the comet Swift-Tuttle. Most the size of your fingernail, but the ones that look like fireballs are as big as your fist, according to experts. Together, all those tiny pieces of comet debris move so rapidly, they heat up and illuminate the air around them, creating the streak of light that looks like shooting stars. Make all the wishes you want. And that's our Garden State Express for Friday, August 10th. Something up in your neighborhood? Tip us off. It's been 4 years since Rutgers Athletics joined the Big Ten Conference. For all the TV coverage and free branding every time an Aaron Judge home run soars toward the Rutgers Big Ten sign in Yankee Stadium, the Scarlet Knights are still down in the standings while their debts are climbing. So has the university's investment been worth it? Keith Sargent covers Rutgers Athletics for NJ Advanced Media. He sat down with Leah Mishkin.
How has it been for them having this membership?
I think, and in some ways, it was like a lottery ticket. They hit the lottery in a lot of ways, because you have to remember, 5 years ago they were almost in purgatory, where their future, as far as conference affiliation, was an unknown. They were watching, other schools that were going to the ACC. Rutgers wanted to go to the ACC at the time, and it just didn't happen. So without going to the Big Ten, from a financial perspective, who knows what would have happened? I mean, it's no secret that they're heavily subsidized already. At least with the Big Ten, their financial future is secure. From a competitive standpoint, so everyone knew it was going to be an uphill sled, that they struggled in the previous conference in Big East and the American Athletic Conference. Everyone knew from a competitive standpoint it was going to be a challenge. I think maybe if you give any of the athletic department officials and coaches some truth serum, they would admit that it would, it might be even bigger challenge than they really originally feared. But
and the statistics show that
it does. They've won across the board 22% of their games across the board in conference play over the last 4 years, which is, when you're not even winning a quarter of your conference games, it's kind of shows you how much of a challenge it's been.
And when you talk about the benefits of being in the Big Ten, is it really because it puts you on a different level, a national level, and you're televised and you can make money off of that?
Without question, it's the best conference, in country in terms of prestige and tradition. There's a network, Big Ten network that airs, if not on their TV, but certainly on their website, pretty much all their games. From a branding standpoint, is immeasurable. What the Big Ten has meant. We reported it back in July, but you just look at enrollment's been up. Just from a branding standpoint, you see Big Ten signs all over the place. So from a school spirit standpoint, people are enthused from it. But from a competitive standpoint, you still have that challenge of when are they going to win more games?
And I know they're trying to get new recruits, and they are pumping a lot of money into the athletic department, new facilities, new coaches, but they're still at a deficit.
They are. And everyone knew that. There wasn't what they would call an on-ramp to get into the Big Ten to try to get their athletic department a little bit more secure. That meant raising coaching salaries. That meant making all their programs fully funded from a scholarship standpoint. Whereas 5 years ago, maybe women's golf or tennis, they weren't fully funded. So now they all are. That costs money. Scholarships always go up to that is indicative with tuition, which has constantly gone up. So that is all part of it. That being said, there was a 6-year what they had to a 6-year window where they're not getting fully funded from the Big Ten. They will starting in 2021. So between now and then, it's going to be a challenge from a financial standpoint.
Do you think they can catch up? Looking ahead, with the revenue they're supposed to get in?
Give me, if you want to say in 10 years, I asked Pat Hobbs the same question. In 10 years, will Rutgers be, if not, financially neutral, or will the subsidies go away? And he's of the opinion that they will be. I'm a little skeptical. If you look at, again, tuition is always going to go up, and then facilities. I mean, that's a big part of what they're doing now. A lot of it is that they're trying to get private financing, with boosters and donors, but still they're going to have to depend on some sort of public financing in that they already are. So I'm a little bit more skeptical that in 10 years that they're going to be financially neutral. But, within maybe 20 years, I think you could see a day where Rutgers is not just financially neutral, but making actually money off their football program and their athletic teams.
Do you think it's tough having this cloud? I know you wrote an article on this as well, the golden parachute payout.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit to that for people who don't know what that is?
Well, yeah, I mean, Julie Herman and a lot of their other, officials dating back the last 5, 6, 7 years, football coach Kyle Flood, even Mike Rice, which was heavily publicized, he got a payout. That was a little bit of a tougher situation because he had already been disciplined, 4 months prior, suspended and fined. So it would have been tough. It would have been almost like double jeopardy to fire him for cause. So they had to pay him out. But almost everyone, who any of the big, coaches or the athletic officials who have walked out the door have walked away with something. The difference with Julie Herman is she was entitled to $1.16 million if they fired her for without cause, which they did. And then on top of that, they gave her retention pay, which she would have had to be the AD for 5 years. She wasn't. She was only there for 2.5. And they gave her all of her bonus money, which added up to about $500,000. That was the part of that has a lot of people, a little bit up in arms.
So it makes it a little difficult to raise financing, but Big Ten is definitely a positive.
Yeah, certainly. And and again, what they would argue is what the money that they're going after right now is dwarfs that $500,000. And in some ways, what they would argue is the publicity that a lawsuit would have brought if Julie Herman would have. And there were threats of a lawsuit that she would have tried to fire him for.
It would have been worse.
It would have been worse. Negative headlines and the publicity. So Rutgers, you have to remember, they're a $3 billion operation, and all their decision makers are board of governors who are heads of corporations, of big businesses, and their first instinct is not to get sued. So when that happens, you don't want to get sued, and you want to just make the problem go away.
Right. Thank you for being here, Keith. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Now, some noteworthy facts that help you know Jersey. There were 41,000 people incarcerated in New Jersey in 2016. That same year, former Governor Christie called a bill mandating recess, similar to the one Murphy signed, stupid. In 1965, the Jersey Astronomical Association built the Voorhees State Forest Observatory, and 13 Big Ten schools have made their athletic spending public. Rutgers ranked 11th. There are 14 Big Ten schools. Go figure. If there's someone who you'd like to get to know Jersey, share. Use #KnowJersey. Next week on NJTV News, is the state facing a shortage of doctors? And tonight on NJTV, the premiere of the British crime series, Vera. To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thanks for being here. Enjoy your weekend.
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of New Jersey residents and businesses for more than 100 years. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.